Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. Most of the public debate on the budget battle here in Washington continues to focus on taxes. Democrats want to raise them on high earners. Republicans don't. But there's another part of the equation that gets much less attention, and that is spending cuts. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry looks into that tonight.
Pulling on the heartstrings as if he were back on the campaign trail, President Obama visited a middle-class family in the battleground state of Virginia.
A couple of $1,000s means a couple months' rent for this family.
And once again, he was trying to frame the battle over the fiscal cliff as being all about taxes, with no mention of spending cuts.
I'm not going to sign any package that somehow prevents the top rate from going up for folks at the top 2%. But I do remain optimistic that we can get something done that is good for families like this one's and that is good for the American economy.
Republicans believe the reason the president is going light on spending cuts while also demanding this budget deal include another increase in the nation's debt ceiling is clear.
This isn't about getting a handle on deficits or debt for him. It's about spending even more than he already has.
White House aides reject the Republican claims that holding the debt limit over the president's head is the only mechanism to get him to trim spending.
You're just going to keep debt limit goes higher, and you keep spending more money.
Well,
you and
false.
Congress, both.
That's simply false. The president signed into law $1 trillion in discretionary spending cuts. The president has a specific proposal to achieve $600 billion in savings from our entitlement programs, including our health care entitlement program.
Jay Carney went so far as to compare Republican pressure on the debt ceiling to hostage-taking.
Just a profoundly bad idea that I think could not be more frightening for American businesses and American workers.
Of course, Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner may have also frightened people yesterday by telling CNBC the White House is prepared to go off the fiscal cliff unless Republicans bend on taxes. And a comment by former Democratic presidential candidate Howard Dean has frightened Republicans that this debate is not just about raising taxes on the rich.
The truth is, everybody needs to pay more taxes, not just the rich. That's a good start. But we're not going to get out of this deficit problem unless we raise taxes across the board, to go back to what Bill Clinton had.
Now, some liberals have pushed the president to raise the debt ceiling himself, claiming that he has the executive power through the 14th Amendment. Jay Carney revealed today the White House has studied that, does not believe the president has that power, and that means we're headed for another major showdown with Congress over the debt ceiling. Brett?
More on this with the panel. Ed Henry live on the North Lawn. Ed, thank you.